afternoon. My name is Janae Sanders, and I'm a member of Blacks in Government. I have the distinct pleasure this afternoon of introducing our speaker, Mr. Frank Reed. Frank Reed is the author of God in Trust, In God We Trust, Dollars and Cents. He is an insightful financial coach and speaker with an innovative approach to financial freedom, coaching, and empowering people with a profound truth: debt is not your destiny. Frank introduces you to a new way of looking at the wisdom of the ages. Frank has shared his knowledge over the years at home and abroad, in Kampala, Uganda, and Ireland. He is involved with the Chamber of Commerce, the Virginia Fatherhood Foundation, local colleges, as well as local and international congregations. Born and raised in southeastern Virginia, Frank now resides in Bremerton, Washington. Everyone, please extend a warm welcome to Mr. Frank Reed.
Juneteenth is a special, special time. Why is it so special? It's special for America because it changes the face of America forever. Juneteenth, which happened in 1885, I'm sorry, if it happened in 1985, we'd have problems. In 1885, but actually, the Emancipation Proclamation happened in 1863, January 1st. So 2.5 years later, they finally got the news. But how many of us know that when you get really good news, especially that you are now free, it's never too late? So they were excited about that. They were excited about, in Galveston, Texas, when those Union soldiers came in bringing them the good news that had been kept from them for 2.5 years. Now you might say, well, what's the big deal with that? What if I held your paycheck up for 2.5 years? Yeah, you kind of relate now, don't you? Because whenever someone holds back from you what really belongs to you, you become frustrated and disillusioned. However, you can always change things. How do we change things? I love the theme of this conference and this meeting. I'm not used to standing in one place, guys, so I want to move. This mic won't go with me, but that's okay. And that theme is remembering the past and forging the future. That's absolutely essential. Remembering the past and forging the future. My Jewish brothers often say this: do not forget the past, because it will be repeated. Do not forget the past, for it will be repeated. Do we see anything today that is being repeated? Do we see conditions today that we thought were long gone? Is there anything that reminds you of the 50s and the 30s and the 40s? Why is that? Have we forgotten the past? Have we forgotten people like Harriet Tubman, Frederick Douglass, Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King? Have we forgotten them? Have we forgotten those that we don't even know their names, but paid an awesome, awesome price, and even their lives, so you and I can be here today? Have we forgotten? Remembering the past. Remembering their sacrifice, as someone has already said. Remembering their sacrifice, the price they paid. Can you imagine? We struggle to get up and go to work every morning. We get paid for it. Can you imagine getting up and going to work every day, day after day after day, with no government holidays? No vacations? No hope? No future? But yet they went. Why? Even after the Emancipation Proclamation was passed, even after Juneteenth, how many of us know a lot of things didn't change? A lot of things did not change. But because of their sweat, because of their toil, because of their belief that tomorrow will be a better day. Today, once again in 2008, history in America was changed. All their sweat, all their toil, all their tears, and all their blood was rewarded because the man that was once considered property, a black man in America, now holds the highest office in the land. Why? Because of those who paid the price. Now, I'm here to challenge you this morning. I'm here to agitate you this morning. Why? Because I want to separate the truth from the lie. How many are not familiar with a washing machine? The most vital part of a washing machine is the agitator. Can anybody tell me why? It gets the dirt out. Anyone else?
Shakes things up.
It shakes things up. Because if you don't have an agitator in a washing machine, if you put dirty clothes in, you'll just take wet dirty clothes out because there's no change. The agitator separates the dirt from the clothing. My job is to separate the truth from the lie. Because when you separate the two, you can see more clearly. Because of these extraordinary people who created and accomplished extraordinary things, we can sit in this room together. We can look forward to a brighter future. But there's some changes that have to be made. And I want to talk to you about those changes today. I want to talk to you about some of those changes. Because you see, we couldn't always do this. How many people in here are from the South? Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee. I'm from Virginia. And I grew up in a segregated environment. When I went to the first grade, the school from my house was 1 mile away. I was bused 11 miles. Why? Because it was a segregated school. I couldn't go there. I had to walk a mile. You know, you always heard the story, you know, I had to walk a mile or 5 miles uphill both ways. I never believed that until I got to Seattle. So I don't care where you're going up the hill. And I said, wow, this must be where my dad grew up. But when you lived in that kind of environment, you understand that we couldn't always come together like this. That people who decided that this is not acceptable and made a decision to move and make a difference is the reason that we're here today. You know, when I was a young boy, my father was a waterman. He had an 18-foot wooden skiff. You won't see any of those out here in the harbors, but he had an 18-foot wooden skiff that he built by hand. And he had a boat. And how many of you, I'm dating myself, but I don't have a problem with that. Remember 77 Sunset Strip? Anybody? Anybody? Okay, great. Remember how they used to throw the water up when they went around with the boat? And I was sitting there crabbing off of the pier, and I saw two young white kids. They looked to be about 14, 15 years old, and they both had speedboats. These were nice boats, and they were chasing each other, what we call the creek that led out to the river. They were chasing each other, and they went around and they threw the water up. And I was 8 years old, and I said to myself, something's not right. Something's not right. They're not much older than me, and they have speedboats, and my dad is a grown man, and all he has is a handmade skiff. What's wrong with this picture? And that was my first reality of inequality in America. See, I didn't know I was poor because we were happy. My dad was a hard worker. He provided everything we needed. And not only that, I didn't know until later that we had one of the best houses on the road that he built himself.